Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream. 25th of February, so we're almost finishing the second month of the year. How is everyone doing? How was your week in the markets? Basically, just continuation, right? Just the dollar going upwards, euro, gold, and so on going down. The indices also reversing, moving to the downside. Basically, feeling the spice that we have been talking about for the last month, since the beginning of February, since the dollar turned, that we've been looking for price to fill all this space until the beginning of January, right? During that NFP data that came out. And last week I mentioned that only the pound had reached that level. There was still a gap in there to be filled on the dollar, on the euro, on the Aussie, and so on. And apparently this week we managed to finally fill it in a quite of a compression way. And yesterday finally there was some momentum, and price finally filled that space. So there you go. After 1 month, we finally got there. After 2 months, since 1 month and a half or so, we were looking for the dollar to turn. That's something that we have been looking for throughout the month of January. It finally took the lows, it finally turned, and now it reached this level with the potential to even go slightly higher and maybe keep breaking maybe this high and even go a little bit higher. Now, something that we have seen is that we still haven't had a proper deep retracement in here, right? So as you can see from these lows, basically price hasn't really reached or came all the way back down in here to collect the orders to then eventually continue to go higher. The maximum that dollar, for example, moved to downside, it was just up until this previous level of resistance, kind of work as a support. We had indeed this demand zone, and then price just continue to go upward. So when that deep retracement is going to happen, that's a little bit of the question mark in here. And of course, first, are we going to even still manage to break actually these highs in here, the January highs, or are we going to by any chance respecting them and now turn? Right, so that's another question that we need to pay attention to. Personally, I do think that we are going to break these highs, give an engulf to the upside, and after that we might have that deeper retracement. Let's see until where, because even in here there's maybe still orders in there. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. So yeah, that's something that we're going to be discussing today. Of course, then you're going to be taking a look at the major indices as well, see what's going on in there. We're going to pay attention to the individual currency pairs that we look for. You know how it is, right? So it's Saturday. We're going to do our weekly analysis. Again, if you want to share any of key levels that you are looking for, we're going to have a conversation about them, discuss them. Basically, try to find out key levels to look for opportunities next week. If you are new, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and even share the stream with others if you got value from it. So, all right, so let's get started, right? So as I mentioned, basically for the last 1 month and a half, even not 1 month and a half, actually we even predicted this zone in here in the beginning of January. So we have been able to predict quite nicely what the dollar was doing and the way it was doing and the timings that it was doing it. So which is also important. And we are finally reaching this one, right? So there you go. The range in here has been filled, as I mentioned. So what's next? what's next is the question, right? So these highs, now you need to keep starting to pay attention more to the left side again, kind of where price actually reacted from and whatnot, to try to see future directions from price. So we do have this, we had the supply, this one in here, price reacted from there. We have this left shoulder, which is already reacting from this level in here in January. We may have a little bit of a supply left behind in there, which can still, actually it's maybe one of the only reasons that maybe still price can eventually reverse from this highs. Otherwise, the likelihood is maybe for price to just break them and just continue, right? So maybe if you go, let's just try the 15 minutes just to see how price moved away from that level. So it was around the NFP, so maybe there was some kind of supply left behind in there. I don't remember now how it was. Let's just take a look. January is a little bit more to the left side. Just move it. Come on, 6, 10. There you go. So here we are. Oh, there you go. Right. So actually, we may still have a fresh zone in here. I don't know exactly where price is reacting now. So we have this high in here. Most likely, I'll be looking for price to eventually take this high and fake out this high. Unless there's maybe now I'll need to go into even to the 5 minutes or maybe 1 minute to actually try to find out what happened during this move to downside. I think this was exactly during the news, right? Yeah, 1:30. So this was during the news. Now on the war time frame, there's maybe something like this happening. Price maybe down, paused, down, reacted, maybe some with left shoulder in there, it went up. It took maybe these highs, and now this one reacting from something in here that we're not seeing it, and maybe there's a left shoulder in here with some supply that maybe price can still react from this level. To be honest, I don't even know where price is reacting right now. Maybe price even already took this highs. Just looking at these 15 minutes, personally, I think we are going to have price going slightly above it. There are two levels in here that price can literally still react from, or that is that I'll be looking for price to react from. And something that I mentioned just now, kind of price went down, retracing a little bit, went down, fake out, went down. Is kind of, you can see it in here. So we have this wick and this small candle. Just zoom in a little bit, maybe it's easier for you to see it. As you can see, we have this small candle in here, right? So kind of this small doji, whatever name you want to call it, in here, right? This one. This is kind of what I was mentioning. Kind of price went down, kind of retraced a little bit, went down, it fake out, now reacted from the supply, and it left this key zone in here with price kind of dropping. These highs, in theory, they should have gone there to collect the orders, but it didn't. It just dropped all the way from here, leaving this price a little bit. So maybe on Monday, maybe there's going to be a little bit of a reaction from this level. So the two zones to look for. First of all, of course, this extreme in here. So this can be quite interesting to see how price is going to react from it, with maybe a little bit more precision if you do want to catch this extreme of this left shoulder. Why I deleted that. And the other one, of course, is this demand zone in here, right? Basically, the demand price should have respected it and kind of do this. It didn't. It just completely break through. Apparently, this high doesn't look like it even reacted from this level. So there's maybe something in here for price to react from. I have this white line, which at this point I don't even know what is this white line. What is this white line about? I'm trying to go left. Okay, so it's from somewhere in here. Kind of a left shoulder in there. Okay, same way that we had this left shoulder, we have fake out and price reacting from there. Now kind of we have this high that created new lows, and we have maybe that in alignment. All right, so yes, two levels in here that maybe price could still react from. I can actually maybe be more precise now with this one. Maybe catch at least the base of this, so at least I know at least until here price should react from. If not, then the other zone underneath it in there. with even more precision, as I mentioned, maybe somewhere to catch this this small high in here. Yep, somewhere in there. Of course, if you go into the 5 minute, no, a little bit higher. If you go a little bit to the 5 minutes, 1 minute, maybe you can even see it with more precision. I don't think I even have enough data to come back here on 5 minutes. So let's just stay where we are right now. So yes, breaking out this high can be interesting. We have a little bit of a reaction. Now, is price going to have a big reaction from here? That's kind of the question mark, right? So would price kind of respect this extreme and now from here continue now to go down and even maybe go all the way down and retest the lows? I'm not sure about that, because now it comes in price. Where is price coming from, right? So where did the low in the beginning of February did react from? Did it react from a good level or not? Did it have some more space for price eventually to continue to move down? If that was the case, maybe yes, maybe price could react precisely from here and maybe now continue to move all the way and create new lows. If that doesn't happen, if price by any chance just has some kind of reaction here, maybe respects the next level of support resistance, the most recent zone in there, and maybe then continue to go higher and now takes this one, maybe this level can be used now as a potential long instead of a short, and price could use something like this instead as a continuation setup. So that's something to be aware of. Or price can even just fake out this level, do that fake out, come here and now have the deep retracement, but already giving the indication that it wants to go higher, because it most likely is going to either break these lows in here or even break the lows on the left side. And if you do have that break to the upside, then maybe you can have that deep retracement. As I mentioned, it hasn't really happened yet in here. So now let's actually see in the bigger picture where actually price is reacting from. Has price taken that high or not? Not yet. So it's still reacting. It kind of just paused in here yesterday after the rally. I don't even know what it's doing in here. It's been basically the last 6 hours of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 7 hours of the day. Just within this range. No idea what they are trying to do in here. Which can lead still then for that fake out, and maybe on Monday morning it can have that reaction from here, maybe a little bit of retracement, and maybe the only thing that's going to do is just retest this level in here, created a little bit with this previous level support resistance, maybe just react from here and maybe continue to go higher. So it's interesting. Maybe price could even now break a little bit these lows, leaving space, showing that price still may want to go somewhere in here. If that happens, if kind of, for example, if you break first these lows, then maybe price could go higher, react from here, kind of now fill this range in here, and then navigate to the upside. Yep, or you can just respect this level, price go higher, now breaks the highs, gives a signal that wants to go higher, and then maybe retest, take these lows in here, somewhere in there, and retest from this level, and maybe just continue to go higher after this. Harry, welcome, man. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I'm still drinking my morning coffee. Now, the way the dollar moved away from this level, a little bit in this compression zone, we finally had this fast move to the upside. So if you actually analyze now on the 4-hour time frame, yeah, so if you remember what the conversation we had after price finally took these lows, and it was somewhere in here, we talked about 2-3 levels that there was a high probability chance that price could retrace to before then finally filling this price in here, right? So one of the levels, as I mentioned, it was this previous level support resistance. That's basically where price actually reacted from. The second zone, it could have been a little bit more in here, somewhere in there. Now paying attention that these lows already most likely took out these orders from these left shoulders, so that's a little bit weaker. And then the last zone, it will be the origin of the origin, kind of the retest all the way to the lower lows. That's maybe this low in here kind of didn't really retrace all the way back in here, so there's maybe still orders in there. Now we are looking at 4-hour time frame, maybe on 1 hour, maybe could see some spikes in here on the 15 minutes, maybe could see some spikes of price retesting this level on the way up. Maybe this would make this zone automatically a little bit weaker, but on the 4-hour time frame, just looking at this is basically what we'll be looking for. First zone somewhere in there, second zone maybe under test a little bit of this demand zone somewhere in there, and last zone in here. So this one has been taken, has been respected. Price never even managed to break this demand, so continuation to the upside, it was quite natural. You kind of use this the break of this low in here as liquidity. This was during the last CPI data, so we had NFP price upwards, FOMC kind of price went down, but then of course the day after it reversed, and CPI price going upwards. Yesterday PCE a little bit higher than expected, again price of the dollar going upwards. So this is how the market apparently is reacting towards the major news events that we can look at this point. Of course, inflation, any news related to the inflation, and to the job market, right? So to the labor market, and price apparently at this point is just moving upwards. So we are into, is that into crypto, in new stock? What was the, I don't really follow though that the individual stock market. Yeah, man, losses are part of the game. Question it would be, did you lost more than you wanted? Did you had kind of a little bit of your stop loss in place in there, or at least your risk parameters to not lose, or to not have such a big loss like it looks like you actually had it? Yeah, it's just part of the game. Keep learning, keep growing. Yeah, I come back stronger, kind of review the trade. Sometimes those are the trades that you actually need to have a deep review. The pointful ones, the ones that you don't even want to look back, to look at them again. But you need to do that. Otherwise, you may just repeat the same mistake in the future, which you don't really want to make the same mistake twice. Just keep making mistakes, but grow from them. Yeah. Yesterday, to be honest, I wasn't. It was kind of a day off. I spent the day in London to meet some of the members. So it was really great to have spend time with them in presence, because everything they are doing, it's basically just Zoom. It was great. It was a great experience. Went to London in the morning, came back in the evening. I didn't even look at the market yesterday. No trades at all for me. But yeah, it was a great experience. Hopefully we're going to keep doing that on a regular basis. So yeah, back to it. So yes, dollar. Key zones in here. Are you breaking these highs, moving to downside? There's maybe still something around this level that that you are going to look for. Or price reacting from, or just taking something in here and react from something in there, and eventually have the deep retracement, right? So at this point, barriers to look for, of course, retest of this can be a barrier in terms of barriers for the sellers. Maybe it's a continuation for the buyers. On the dollar, if we do break below something in here, it may open the door a little bit to get at least close to these lows, which is already a break of these lows, which can then lead a little bit even further down. So I'm enjoying the way price, or the way the dollar has been moving in this kind of compression. It's kind of just a question mark where that turn may occur, where that reversal is going to occur, right? So it has been a full bullish month for the dollar, reversed here on the 1st or 2nd of February, all the way through somewhere in here. So it's 2 trading days more for the month. So it's going to be a bullish month, just the same way that it was a bearish month in January, right? All the way from the NFP all the way to the to the end of the month. So yeah, let's see if we're going to have some kind of retracement on the dollar, which may occur, but I would definitely, so the way price is going to react from here, as I mentioned, is going to be important. If you do break it, there's maybe more room to the upside. If not, then it's going to be a different story as prices continue to retrace. If you don't break this, these highs, then I'm not sure if I'll be looking for longs somewhere in here, or if I do look for longs, maybe just a little bit of a reaction, and then maybe price continue to go down, then maybe break new lows. If we do break above these highs, then it's a different story. Even if price starts retracing, now I will be keeping an eye on that in move to the upside, and I'll definitely try to look for long opportunities, even if price goes all the way back towards this level, in order to then capitalize on maybe potential move of filling out this on again, and even maybe going a little bit higher. Now, is the dollar going to have that deep retracement? I don't know. Yeah, all this can be a little bit compressed all the way there, maybe going a little bit below this low towards this level could still be a zone as well where the dollar could react from, and somewhere in here. So yes, maybe somewhere, let's go down, maybe somewhere in here, maybe somewhere in there, and eventually it could go a little bit further than that. Yep, so key zones in here that I will be paying attention to on the dollar. Now, ideally, it would be for price to take the highs, eventually start breaking some lows, and then kind of filling it. Now, maybe use this level in here as a deep retracement again, kind of goes there, and then kind of turn, and maybe have that deep retracement, or just even until here, and then price may just continue to go higher. It would be nice to have, if price does indeed wants to respect this level as a long, it would be actually nice to have a little bit of a structure in here. Price kind of goes higher, leaves a little bit of space in here that price could then use it as a continuation. That would be something that I would like to see happening. Big man, Pedro, how are you? Welcome, man. You've been away from the stream. How are you doing? So Harry, sorry, do you do most to trade what is the NEO? NEO. Okay, the Chinese. Okay, got it. I was not even aware of the new of what new was. Yeah, it's kind of a competitor for Tesla. Okay, got it. What's up? I'm good, man. Still drinking my coffee and making some random predictions on the dollar. Price finally filled the range. What's up, Jack? You missed a great event yesterday, man. Hopefully you are going to attend the next one. It was nice to be with some of you yesterday. It was really great, actually. So yeah, dollar, it's done. Hopefully it breaks. Hopefully, I mean, it still has a little bit of that zone in there that price can react from. Either takes the highs and then kind of looking for some kind of reversals. I would like to see the highs being taken, to be honest. Now, yes, there's still some orders in there. So let's see, maybe there's going to be a reaction there, price retrace, and eventually we have maybe the break to each side. Looking at the indices, Yep, here we go. Here we go. Why I don't have any drawings in here? Where are my drawings? I have drawings in here, but why I don't have them on the indices? Oh well, whatever. Ah, there you go. Just took some time to load, apparently. So yes, S&P continuation to move to the downside. It reacted exactly from a really good level in there. That's supply zone. Now, personally, as I mentioned, I was still looking for price to go maybe a little bit higher before the turn. All these looked compressed. We did broke below the trend line. That could be something that it could have used as a continuation. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher in there, just respected this level. Interesting enough. And just continuation, right? Continuation to downside. We may go and feel this this range in here, right? So even took this level. Yeah, we may feel this demand zone that is a little bit kind of fresh. This was already took those lows. Kind of this one looks like it has already reacted from there. Did you took this low? Yeah, I think we did. So yes, maybe somewhere in there could be an option. If we don't react from there yet, then if price continues to retrace the upside, I think this low in here can work as an engulf down. So I might maybe continue to look forward. Now, interesting enough, if I actually extend a bit more this trend line, it looks like that we are reacting from this trend line. Right, and this trend line comes all the way back from the highs from last year. In here, there you go, all the way. So interesting enough, maybe can find some kind of support in there. And need to go higher. Not really sure about that. I think I would like to see price going slightly lower on the in here on the S&P. It's kind of a good reversal for now. Going higher. Let's see how price reacts from this supply zone. Retracing in a bit of a compression. I'd like to see price going a little bit farther down in here. And this is actually a really interesting move, which tends to occur a lot in the middle of the zones. Like it's kind of how can you create manipulation and structure without being close to so important highs or lows, kind of from the left side and whatnot, right? So it's a way to create some manipulation around this level, but if you don't have any proper structure around it, you can create it your own, right? You don't really need to use anything on the left, whatever. Just create whatever you are doing. Just go down, can kind of go up, go down again, kind of just make those kind of weird manipulations of breaking lows and break highs and break lows again, kind of retrace again, and whatnot. You can create your own liquidity just like that. So yeah, maybe a little bit more room to downside. Actually, now that I'm looking at the 30 minutes, yeah, maybe it could have taken a little bit in there. Yeah, maybe a bit more room to downside. Are you going to go all the way there? A little bit in alignment with the dollar, which has been going to the upside, and then this is going a little bit to the downside. At this point, it's in the middle of this kind of range in here. So, as you know, anytime price is a little bit in the middle, it's a little bit tricky to predict. Price can do whatever it wants in there. Now, maybe looking for something in here could be interesting. Maybe a little bit more room to the downside, maybe somewhere in there. Or price can even go a little bit higher. We'll see. We'll see what the indices are going to do at this point. New PC? I don't have any PC, man. We just need a tiny fraction of predictions to work, right? It's true. It's true. Even if you make predictions from A, B, C, D, E, whatever, maybe just need for price to work from B to C, and that's it. Everything else price could maybe not to what you were expecting, but if you do find that that space in there, that opportunity, perfect. Trading view has issues today, right? Okay, it's not just me. New PC, you are funny. Not yet. I'm waiting for you to pay for the PC, man. Keep going. I am indeed looking for a new to upgrade my PC. That's true. Which maybe by the end of this month, I will pull the trigger on that one. So yeah, S&P, it's in the middle. Reacted from a really good zone, created all that. Eventually, yes, I mentioned I would like to see price going a little bit higher. It can go a little bit lower. NASDAQ. What is NAS doing? NAS, I think I mentioned last week, it's kind of one of that I'm a little bit more bullish than the others, just because we actually took this high. I don't really like kind of where price just stopped. There's a little bit maybe of a zone here on the left side, where price kind of maybe reacting from, but it's already kind of reacted from there. Not the biggest fan of where NAS paused, so I may see this one as an engulf upwards for the future. Question mark is from where. Yes, I mentioned a little bit of this potential demand. It's actually kind of the low that originated that move, the low created after the break of those highs. That's usually kind of a bit important. Yes, we did have a little bit of a reaction from the extreme of this level, but it just reacted from the next level of support resistance, right? And it just continue. We just continue to move down. Now reacting from here, again, maybe we are on our way towards to have a little bit more of a deep retracement towards somewhere in here, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Or maybe just start going upwards from here. So as I mentioned, NAS is kind of the only one that I may still look for price to go a little bit higher. S&P is reacting from here. Again, I'll still like to see price maybe filling that space. Maybe it's not going to go all the way to the highs from August. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Like, main point is it has been finally an adjustment from the market based on what the Fed has been saying in terms of the interest rates, and I think that has led a little bit the market finally to move to the downside. That's maybe the justification. As you know, I'm much more focused on what actually I can see from the on the charts, but maybe then the theory kind of just follows what you can see on the charts. So yes, so yeah, move to the downside and the indices, move to the upside on the dollar, and let's see next week what's going to happen. Also, maybe what the dollar is going to do around that high. That may have a indications of maybe what you can expect in here. This is DAX, which once again is not loading my drawings, which sometimes is nice to see price naked, completely without anything in here. Okay, here we are again. Yes, so we are creating out this range. As I mentioned, my favorite zone is even if price could go a little bit higher into that level. I think on the lower time frame we saw that actually, okay, still has a little bit of a zone in here where price reacted by faking out these highs and reacting from there. But yes, my favorite zone eventually to be for price to go maybe a little bit higher than this high in here. And we are creating out this range, right? So as I mentioned as well, we had broken this low, so this was already kind of a beginning of an engulf for me personally, a beginning of go away. It was already showing me that price wanted to go slightly lower. So let's see now from somewhere in here what price is going to do, and then till where it's going to. Nice reaction from the size. Price is creating all this structure. This can be interesting. So create all these highs together. Eventually could lead to eventually have that fake out, right? Now let's see how price is going to behave now that you broke these walls, how it's going to behave. Are you going to take these walls again? It would be nice actually now if you could take these walls, and maybe then after that kind of retracing eventually go a little bit higher to that level. Again, that level may just be taken in the next few weeks or months, whatever. Maybe price can have a deep retracement. Maybe price can have a deep retracement from where it is now. The type of movement that maybe I was looking for, or that it can happen, is maybe something like this, right? We do create kind of a lot of structure in here, looking like that price is starting to become bearish, breaking the walls, but eventually there's maybe a fast quick up, picking out all those highs, and then turning to the downside, kind of similar to what happened in the middle of December. Now this was specific news that created that spike. Next week I'm not really sure if we have any big catalyst happening. Maybe NFP on Friday, since it's going to be the first Friday of the month. Yeah, something like this could be interesting on the DAX. And this one now. Oh, trading view is really slow today. You pay for your own stuff. Not paying anything. And consciously you actually are, but it's okay. Actually what you are getting is much it values much more than whatever. Until I invite you to England. I'm inviting you. You are free to come. You are free to come here. Come on, man. Come on, TradingView. Why are you not voting anything? Okay, whatever. What you are looking for, or what you have been looking for the Dow, it has been, I think, filling this range. I think that's where we were looking at all this time that I've been talking about it. Having these highs, respecting everything in here, and then price finally using and faking out this level. Initially, yes, I mentioned that price had respected this demand zone, but price had broken all these lows. So I was actually already looking for price eventually to fill all this. Now question mark in here because price had respected the demand, but you start to create way too many highs in there, something that I kind of just talked about it. We managed to start breaking some lows. By breaking these lows, everyone is starting to be bearish, in here, and then eventually we have that fake out which occurred with the CPI, if I'm not mistaken, into some kind of supply that was still in there, perfectly done, and the reversal starts to occur. We broke a low, then we retrace, we continue to go down, we slightly respect this demand zone for a moment, and then eventually price finally continues to break down. Now we had this compression. One of the last demands that is still fresh is maybe using this one in here, which is maybe exactly where price has reacted last Friday. Now eventually we are looking to get to that level. So this has been a prediction that we have made for the last 2 if not 3 months, since we broke these lows, right? Since we broke these lows and since we made that move, that I was looking for price, that I've been looking for price to go all the way to this level, at least, if not starting to actually turn, and maybe not, price may not even respect these lows altogether, and maybe even go slightly lower. Now in the beginning, I have to be honest, when I made the prediction, or when I start noticing the type of pricing, the type of behavior that we are having in here, it was a big confliction with the S&P and NASDAQ, because I was literally much more bullish on those, and price was kind of still somewhere in here. So super bullish, especially on the NASDAQ, after price had broken those highs last year, the end of last year. While I was already bearish on the Dow, so kind of it's not normal that you are going to be strongly more bearish on the Dow, kind of completely bullish on the NASDAQ. there's still some kind of correlation going on in there, but it has been occurring like that, right? So Dow managed to never again break these highs. It's right, we went higher a little bit, but a different type of moves. While NASDAQ was literally going much stronger to the upside. We didn't notice that on the Dow, and finally they kind of are in alignment now, kind of all of them going down, and there's maybe a little bit more room for that to happen. So here we are again, kind of price still is telling us, and it tells us the clues of where it wants to go and what it's doing and whatnot. So if you have watching the streams for the last few months, anytime I'm talking about the Dow, I'm always drawing this rectangle, and yeah, it's kind of a broken disc. Now I have no idea why again the analysis or whatever lines I have in here, they're not appearing. Oh, here we are. All right, so maybe it gives a little bit more better idea what I was looking for, or even it's worse with the drawings, I'm not sure. So this is kind of what we're looking for price to go out the way close to these walls and eventually giving that range. Now there's maybe some opportunities for price to maybe retrace, continue to go lower and whatnot, maybe just retracing to this supply now and then continuing. We'll see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, and fits. Literally going to cover fits now. Euro index. So this is another one. Kind of the range that I am looking for is at least this one. I'm looking for that low. Now, yes, we are still respecting a little bit this level, which price is still still kind of fresh. Yes, price went above this level, kind of reacting somewhere in here. This could be one of the levels that we could see price retracing and maybe continuing. There's something in here that price could still react from. Maybe slightly took that high. But let's see if this Euro index is eventually kind of going to fill out this range. With at this point, this low is already an engulf down. So I'm not even looking for price to pause in here. I'm actually looking eventually for price to go at least into the next level of structure, which is somewhere in there. Now, is price going to have a deep retracement first, somewhere close to these highs? That's a question mark. So let's see what the Euro index is going to be doing in here. We have seen that the Euro dollar has been moving to the downside throughout this week, and kind of the Euro index a little bit following that side. And yes, Euro index had reacted from that level that we have been talking about. The yen index. Here we are, right? So yen index, again, something that we have been covering as well, with price breaking a little bit below these lows, if not that one. As soon as it breaks, this is a little bit of compression. As soon as it breaks one of those lows, most likely it wants to fill this price. This price is as clear as water. Price wants to go until there, if not even farther below. At least until here you should expect it. We kind of had a little bit of a reaction in there, and now price basically it may just break through and may respect this demand, or it can even go all the way, retest even below these walls before any retracement to the upside. So that's what we have. We have the yen moving to the downside after so many weeks in here, kind of in this range, and yeah, we could see that as well on the yen index, on the end, on dollar yen, and on the other yen pairs. So yeah, where did price reacted from in here? Did it took these two in here? Yep, nice reaction from the extreme of this level. Interesting enough, all the way to the extreme. Fantastic. Broke a little bit the compression first, fake out, and kind of reacted from this, then eventually from this level in here. Good reaction in there. Yeah, I think there was, I haven't checked the news, but there was inflation data coming out last Friday or Thursday night. And that the new governor of Bank of Japan, I think, was testifying something. So maybe some news in there. Let's take a look at major FX pairs. Right then, anything on euro that you're looking for? Any key level that you're looking for? Are you breaking the lows? What are you looking for? So this is what we had last week, right? So last week price, you guys remember, I actually had this level marked. Price reacted straight away there in the Monday morning, and apparently just dropped. It was that last supply zone. I was actually looking for price to react from there on Friday. Price kind of paused, and then eventually it ended up reacting from this level, kind of reacting from all this. These highs never really reacted from there. As I mentioned last week, price was where it paused, it hasn't really reacted or filled the zone that we could see it in here, which was again retesting these levels in here from the 6th of January. And we are finally there. We are finally here. Price has finally reached that level in a lot of compression throughout the week. Again, with a lot of compression, this can be actually interesting in the future if we do turn to the upside, because basically almost all the supplies are being taken on the way down. Maybe there's still something in here that is still fresh, something in here. Aside from that, for example, this one has been already corrected by this one. This fresh supply that I mentioned, it was corrected by this one. Even all this left shoulder in here, it was corrected by that one. This one has already been taken by this one. All this in here has been corrected, been taken. This one may be taken by that one as well. So yeah, there something still here at the top? Not really sure about it. If there's anything in there, maybe some retest of previous support resistance in there can occur. So as price is moving down, this is what you can start tracking, any key levels in here where maybe they are still fresh, where price may react in the future. Now, what is the target for the lows, right? So somewhere in there. EU, I like a retest of news. Spike 057. Where is 057? Is that yesterday? I literally haven't checked the market yesterday. So, is it this spike? 0570. Yeah, somewhere in there. Oh, what is all that about yesterday? Was there any... What happened yesterday? Why did market reacted like this for the last 6 hours? This is a terrible way to move. Whatever. Yeah, reacting somewhere in here would still be an option, and then to continue to go down. 0465 for longs. 0465 below the walls, right? 04. Yeah, you are looking for something in here. Yeah, below the walls, right? So you're looking for the euro to take the walls, which I would like to see that happening as well. Now, during the NFP, on that particular day, we kind of moved quite a lot of spikes in here and there. And just 1 second. And did price took this demand? yeah, it looks like that price retested all the way back to take already this demand. Now, is there something at the extremes? Maybe this spike was literally during the NFP, price spiked down and went up. I remember it was one of the only ones that actually took the lows. It was in pound, Aussie, dollar, yen, and so on. They actually never really took the lows, but euro did. Is there any demand in here? I would prefer for price to go a little bit more than that. In there, maybe to have a little bit of a reaction from the lows. Maybe could expect that tomorrow. Price to kind of feel the range from whatever it may be until kind of somewhere in here. We do have a little bit of this demand, but I would even like to see price maybe reacting a little bit lower than that. Have a little bit of a reaction until eventually, indeed, we take the lows. So yes, I'm a little bit in agreement that the euro eventually can take these lows the same way that the dollar could take the highs, and by doing that, it will be kind of a little bit of an indication that would like to go lower, similar to what I mentioned on the dollar before. Yes, the same way that the dollar just reacted from the previous level of resistance and become a support is the same way that euro is just reacted basically from this level of support that become resistance just above all these highs, right? It was quite nice during the CPI, if I'm not mistaken. Really nice zone. Now, we never had a deep retracement, right? Because price was moving down. The only thing that we did was basically react from the base of this level. We never really went all the way back to react somewhere closer to here. So we never had that deep retracement, which eventually can occur in the future, and maybe price can even then sell again from this level. Now, I would like to see eventually this low indeed to be taken, which maybe can work as an engulf down, maybe targeting after that something in here. Doesn't mean that price will just do this. It may mean actually that price may actually take the lows, and maybe not even such a deep retracement or engulf. Maybe just take the lows and ready to start reversing, right? There's been a full month of bearishness on the euro. Can even open up this monthly chart, and you can see how price kind of opening, spiked up, and where is heading, right? This is basically February candle. Maybe you can even feel the range of all this candle, right? Somewhere in here. And the euro doesn't have a negative month for 4 months in a row that we finally went there. We came from 4 months in a row bearish, and then we turned in here end of September, October, whatever, November, December, January, and now February we finally have our first negative month. So let's see how price is going to close. And yes, we may take this low in here, and maybe we can react from somewhere in there. Don't forget it. We also have maybe this big left shoulder that maybe can work out as something in there. So yeah, that's a monthly low in here, so can be quite interesting to see how price eventually is going to react from there. But that's it. The range, the spice has been filled, right? So we separated actually this in two. First one, it will be here of this compression, and after that it's kind of where the momentum started. If you do break below that level, or especially below this level, basically there was enough spice in here to fill, and nothing too much in there to hold price to the upside, not to make price turn all the way to the upside. But yeah, let's see. I like the level on the dollar a little bit for a potential sell, which maybe could be a little bit for a long on the euro, but eventually I would like to see euro breaking to the downside in there. And you mentioned specifically that zone, right? So I actually have some kind of a rectangle in there. Let's actually take a look into that. I may just delete this rectangle, to be honest. This is now a little bit of the exercise that we need to do, right? By paying attention to what the hell is going on here on the left side, where's maybe some levels that you can find You mentioned 045, 065. In here, I believe somewhere in there that you are talking. I had this one in here, which I'm going to delete it since you're mentioning this one underneath that. Delete that. But I do like still this level. I don't know if price has reacted from here or not. I kind of still like in here. I think this level in here created a little bit of a separation there. This wall was broken. Price kind of should have gone a little bit closer to this level, and it never did. So I kind of like this level in there. And then kind of a little bit more of the same in here, with price going all the way there. This is previous level support resistance around this level. Or maybe we can just continue to go lower. Already reacted from this level. Yeah, just set up a line in there to be safe. Yeah, a lot of compression. Yeah, maybe this level can be interesting. So this level that I marked, actually it's maybe where price just reacted from. Yeah, that's basically where the euro reacted from. Exactly. So that level is basically taken. Yeah, that's basically taken already. So forget about that. Somewhere in here, we took these lows. Maybe eventually somewhere in there, price could eventually navigate towards 2, which could be eventually a future target after price breaks this low. Yeah, that can be it. Yeah, that's basically it for the euro. Nothing much to add into it. Maybe retracing a little bit to this level. We first have this level in here. Maybe retracing a little bit back to that level. We have this break in here. Yep, let's see. Yep, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, next. Pound. Pound. Yeah, interesting, right? So I mentioned that pound had it was one of the, if not the only pair that actually had reacted already from this level on the 6th of January. So it was already in there. What a beautiful zone where it reacted from, right? So we kind of mentioned that as well. Last week, there was a little bit of a supply just underneath it. And of course, price just went literally to the zone or to the original supply that actually started to push price down, right? So these highs, they kind of should have gone there. They didn't. They did in here. And after that beautiful zone in there, reaction, we had already kind of broke a few lows in here, even before we made the fake out in there. And that's it. Pricing needs to react a little bit from this level. This one was already kind of broke that level, and it could go all the way towards this level. The money in here, it looks like still fresh, and it's kind of why I still have this level in here. But I do like where price reacted from the highs, so I wouldn't be absolutely, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually break a new low and go a little bit deeper into this level. Kind of, we just reacted from the base of it. I think we can definitely go a little bit deeper into it. And if you remember, what I've been talking about the pound is that we had all this double low in there. Around that moment with the NFP, we broke those lows, went higher, we took the liquidity from this double low. At the same time, for me, this was kind of an engulf to the downside in the bigger picture. Now, yes, price can still maybe react of somewhere in there. There's maybe something in here that we can look for. Should go into delete all these rectangles. Keeping an eye as well on the pound, how price is going to react around this level. You may fake out again this low and then kind of retrace a little bit more, maybe go all the way until there. So as you can see, price has been kind of break lows, retrace, goes a little bit higher, then continues to go down, break lows, retrace. It's been a little bit like that the way price has been moving, not exactly a break of a low and then just continuation, right? It's actually easier to find, kind of expect maybe the break of this low and then a little bit of continuation towards the next low, than breaking this low and expecting straight away continuation towards this low on the left. So it's more of breaking a most recent low and then kind of navigate to the most recent low instead of already looking for that fast move in there. In that case, price kind of goes on a little bit and it has a retracement, goes on a little bit, maybe retracement and whatnot in there. So yeah, pound, we may be in this transition in here. It's actually similar to what happened a couple of years ago. Can you see the similarity between this one? Kind of price goes down, goes up, creates a lot of range in here, breaks some kind of lows. It literally fake out by one or two pips in there, and there you go. And it starts to move to the downside, right? So we kind of have a double low as well in there. Kind of we took it. It's quite similar actually. This kind of double top. It looks like it's a double top, but price actually slightly fakes out the high, which doesn't really make it a double top. It creates a little bit of a low in here, and the way price moved away from this level, it's kind of again in a really strong spend a lot of time around here before finally created the momentum to the downside. So it's quite similar actually, how this moved in here back in 2021, where we had this last higher high on the pound. And it's a good level on the left side as well. Kind of, I was looking for price to go slightly higher, which may occur still in the future. Yeah. Right, and anything on the pound? Where are you targeting? What are you looking for? Eventually, because basically we had all this compression in here. We had this above all. And I think by breaking where this was actually kind of reacted a little bit in the middle of this compression. I'd like to see price eventually to go and filling this the rest of this price in here. This kind of where I would be looking for the pound eventually to go to. Now you may just fake out this move in here and then continue to go higher after that. That can actually be a really nice zone in there to look for. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a space. Maybe these are not already reacting from there. I think on the other time frame. In here, it looks like a little bit more of a space until this level, where price finally moved away from there. As you continue to move down, maybe the space is not as. Maybe there's a little bit more of a reactions in there. But yes, maybe could target all the way this low. There's maybe something in here still that price could use a little bit. Yes, maybe could target this low and then price could go a little bit higher after that. It's a clean low in here on the 1 hour time frame, on the 4 hour time frame as well. I think so. So sometimes you just take those levels and you kind of retrace or have a good reaction from there. So it's a level to pay attention to on the pound when you do take that low in there. That's from that. Really nice reversal in here. Nice, which we just took the highs, fantastic, and then kind of continue to move down where they took the highs to. It's actually somewhere in there. Yep, and what did you do first? Like it's always the same story. It first shows indication of where it wants to go, and then it takes and then it creates the the fake out. It's rinse and repeat always where price moves. So yeah, maybe this one didn't really went all the way until there. Without compression in here. Yep, I'm expecting these falls to be taken. Maybe it be used now as a sell instead of a long, and I'm looking forward to see how price reacts after taking that small spike in there. Aussie just continues, right? And there you go. Not just continues. Again, this low hasn't really reached that level. And as I mentioned, most likely this level is not going to even hold the price for that much, because all this looks already compressed a lot, and there's even a chance for price to eventually actually target this low, if not continue to go a little bit lower all the way until here, if not actually all the way until here. And this may be actually the full range in here on the Aussie. Now below this low, there's maybe some kind of demand zone in here that actually kind of look like a good level in there. Small zones in here that needs to be deleted. Yeah, somewhere in here can be interesting. Below these lows, price could have a little bit of a bounce in there until eventually we take these lows a little bit lower in there. So Aussie, good reaction. Again, we paid attention to this supply level in there. We noticed that this high kind of reacted from that level, and the supply, it's so visible on the 4 hour, if not 1 hour, 4 hour. Yeah, on the 4 hour, you could see that this level was still fresh, and that price and that these highs in here never really reached to that level. So we just kind of figure out that level, react from there, starts going down, a lot of compression, and yesterday it finally have this this momentum to the downside. It finally took this level. So again, it was another one that we kind of started to predict, and they've been predicting for the last couple of months or so, right? We noticed all this strong compression. We noticed the first break of a low that starts to give indication maybe where price wanted to go. We had a high, we had a look at this double top in there, and this fresh zone in there where eventually price retraced to. Now, what we didn't have, something that I mentioned, that I was looking for, it will be for price to eventually get closer to this level for maybe a continuation. Now this level kind of is left behind. Price kind of just stopped in here in the middle. We had already had this engulfed down, so price wanted to go down. Yes, unfortunately, price never really retraced all the way until this level, or even the extreme. Like similar to the euro, there was not exactly that deep retracement occurring, and price just continue, and eventually now it kind of completed and reached the space that it was there to be filled. So yeah, that's basically it for the Aussie. Let's see if it's going to have a little bit of a reaction in here, but eventually I would like to see price targeting that low. And anytime we kind of have these strong moves on a Friday, there's a high chance that Monday can follow through a little bit, or maybe a little bit more momentum to the downside on Monday. Let's see if that happens. Yeah, more moves in here. Maybe if there's a little bit of retracement, there's maybe continuation in there to look for. We'll see. But yes, maybe targeting this level could be interesting. Yeah, if you have any key levels, guys, feel free to share. Aussie. Yep, kind of the opposite, this Euro Aussie comparing with the Aussie dollar. Again, this for me, breaking here is kind of an engulf upwards. So eventually I would like to see price continue to go higher. Price kind of respect, actually this can be actually even an engulf down eventually in the future. but we did broke into this compression zone, so price could go eventually higher to go down. After this breaking here as well, into this now new compression as well, price went all the way down with respect to this level. We could see eventually, first of all, above this level can be some reaction, somewhere in there. Price may go down, somewhere that also may go a little bit higher, but eventually, yes, the idea it would be for price eventually to fill out this range, maybe react from somewhere in here above this high, and maybe then continue to move to the downside, or resume to move to the downside, with price going up and maybe breaking lows along the way. This level in here can be used as a future opportunity to look for longs, and price continues to go higher, make it looks like it's bearish until finally it goes higher, takes this size, reacts on something there, and it can go down. I think that we actually broke slightly with this low. We broke something in there, which can be a little bit more room to the downside. Of course, it depends where this high also is reacting to on the left side. That could be an idea eventually for price to fill all this. The yen, right? Here we are on the yen dollar. As you mentioned, space to the upside. This was already a break of that one. Looking for price to go a little bit higher. Where are we targeting? Initially, at least filling the space, with the chance actually that it could go a little bit higher and even higher and higher. So that's a little bit what we are looking for. Of course, first level somewhere in here. It looks like maybe these highs, none of them actually reacted maybe from that specific level, which can actually be maybe the next good opportunity to look for sales. What did we have? We had this low that broke slightly this low, and after that we initiated this new move upwards. So eventually we could target this low in here, and price could go all the way down towards that level. So that could be something that eventually we could look at on the dollar yen. Eventually, when price does turn. We had a big spike yesterday. Price just took this demand zone and it just resumed the move to the upside. This was kind of a IKM level as well. We had this high, kind of had the fake out in there, low kind of, and then the price reacting out to the opposite side in alignment with the demand that was in there. Nice little reaction. So let's see if we're going to have a little bit of a retracement on the end next week, after price maybe reacting a little bit from here or from there. Yep, so let's see how price is going to do that. Yep, let's see. First zone, of course, we have this demand zone now, so in here can be also interesting to see how price is going to behave from there. But if you start breaking, definitely cannot be able to level. Eventually we could go all the way until here. So at this point, this low is something that I'll be definitely paying attention to. Yeah, this one. Now, this previous level in here, this is an important level of resistance, which is in alignment now with this demand zone. So it just makes it even more important. And now we even have this low in here to be used as fake out, eventually in here towards that level, and maybe can have some kind of continuation. Even better if price kind of pauses for a moment in here. It looks like it's actually holding it. It's even better to look for, and then kind of price could do that move, right, and could go higher. About my partner, yes, we did. We did. Oh, she did indeed. I'm not going to go into more details than that, but yes. it was a good day. It was a good day. Usually we don't go out that often, and these last couple of weeks, 3 weeks, basically I've been going out every Saturday or Friday, whatever. It's a little bit too much. I'm not used to it. Yeah, I need to slow down a little bit. The Loch Ness pattern, the one that you shared the other day. Jack is afraid of saying who he is. That's why he's using a nickname in here. Oh my goodness me. Biden, I need your ideas for the pound and for the yen, man. I need to know what you're looking for. Yes, I could see price going a little bit there, or then eventually a little bit there, and eventually continue to go higher. But somewhere in there could be interesting. And yes, the end respected quite nicely this wall, so end up not breaking it and start moving away from there. So let's see, is this the final target now from how this move down? Is this what the yen is going to be looking to fill? Maybe, and eventually kind of break above that level and getting closer to this range in here, right? There is a big separation, as you can see, from this level all the way until here, where it kind of started a new range in there. Of course, there are plenty of levels in here that are still fresh. I can kind of even looking at that one, can kind of looking at that one. I can even look at the base of this one. It can be interesting as well for price to go and react from. Just above these highs. With these highs, some liquidity in there. There's something in here as well that price could use just above this level. So there are definitely a few levels in here on the dollar yen. I will definitely finally paying attention to them. I think 2 reasons for that. First of all, I like to find those potential reversal setups, even if it's just a bit. And secondly, I like to short much more than I like to buy, or that I like to look for bullish setups. And since yen is going up, therefore I'm going to be looking for those sell opportunities of a retracement. Yep, that's basically it. So yes, now we do have this demand zone, that level. So let's see what's next in here. And this level is key. I'm actually going to give it a little bit more different line in here. Ray. Okay, actually I'm going to do this first. Make it as an alert. Now move down. Select it. Ray. That's it. Now I'm aware where you are with an alert in there. EJ, you are looking for 137 for a short. Thank you. 137. 137. 137. Base of this? No, a little bit higher. 137 precise. Okay, I need to go into the we have the base of this week. We have this demand zone. It's a little bit below the 137. They have this candle in here. So this candle already took the orders from this supply zone. There's maybe a KM zone in here. I am really curious about that level. So we have price moving strongly away from this level back in December. We have price taking out these highs price reacting from this level, and does this looks like a good supply level with a good KM zone, just like this. Is it what it looks like? And we have this high that should have reacted from that level, and it never reacted from that level, and kind of it started a new zone in here, with price going all the way there. We have the fake out into here, kind of price doing that one. So this now becomes a really interesting supply zone. Everyone is looking at it. Even Faden is looking at it. Yeah, kind of respect it for a bit. Then, and only then, after you make it look like it's a good level, I'm here to 137.631. Why not? This becomes a really nice KM zone in there. Price reacted nicely for now from this level. We kind of have a good base in here. Price pause in there. Some reaction in there. This eventually can be even a little bit more of the extreme, a little bit above that. Yep, I do like that. This one can be interesting. This one reacted from that level. It's already a bit taken, to be honest. We had this move up and down in here. Okay, so 1370 something. Yeah, can be interesting. But my favorite, to be honest, I think it's going to be that one. Yeah, it may be just this one in here. And eventually we'll go with retire it for now. Up to 137.08, right? 137.08. 37.80, yeah, 137.80. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah. And this is one of the... This is actually a good one. Right? Because... what we have in here? We have this queen supply level, right? 5 minutes actually a good one. So if this never happened... this would still be fresh, kind of. Right? This price in here would still be fresh. Maybe it would be even more... or the probability of actually working could be even higher. And now it has been taken. However, the way it takes it, it leaves a kind of a Quasimodo in there. Because there's some kind of a small manipulation created in here, because we kind of reacted from the base of it. We managed to create new lows. And then we have that final fake out, and price just moves. And price just moves away, right? It creates that that scenario in here, which can be really interesting. Because maybe after price breaks this high, maybe price should have done this. But it didn't. Kind of just went there really fast, spiked, and completely moved away. And we have now this left shoulder in here. Now I went with all these buys in here, everything in here as well, and so on. And so, because we actually have this level, I actually like it a lot. Seeing there. Now, usually there are two levels where price can react quite nicely from these levels. When you have this one, which is the base of it, which basically has been reacted from the spike that we had in here. Right? It reacted from the base of this range, basically just between these 2-3 candles that we had, the low and the high, and then the other extreme. The others only to be the extreme, right? The extreme in here. So you have the base where price likes to react from, or you have the extreme as well. The base has been reacted. That's it. That's gone. At the extreme, there's still something in there. That's for you guys. Compression in here. What's the other level? What was the other level? Didn't mention anything else? I didn't mention anything for once, right? No, I'm not skipping anything. Who am I? I'm just a simple peasant looking for his path in his endless universe. Fuck. Nah, man, I don't like go crazy every Saturday. Nah, man, I don't even like to do that because it destroys my routine even for Sundays. I'm a guy that likes routines. I may be boring in that aspect. Yeah, but I find kind of my happiness in that style. Yeah, let's go. Let's see what the end's going to do. For wonks, whatever. Whatever. Price may retest this level in here. We have this big, huge spike. So targeting something in there can be interesting. Yeah, we'll see. What else? Euro yen. What is Euro yen doing? A lot of compression, kind of reacting from this level. This could have been a good level if it was kind of not Friday night. This could be a good zone to look for a sell. There's more room to the upside, most likely, as well. Similar to the dollar yen. Euro yen is in this kind of mixed up situation. Yeah, this move upwards was literally due to the whatever the yen was doing, but we also have euro going down, so it's kind of a little bit in a mix up way. Nice moving here. Maybe a little bit more room to the upside. Could be a continuation in here. Price to just something like this. We'll see. Pound yen. We may have a little bit more room to the upside. So we finally broke above this level. And this one for me was kind of a negative upwards. Took a little bit of time. We finally reacted from that level. Price is ranging a little bit. We kind of now took this low. I may have opened into this. Oh, it's distracted from the demand. Okay. This could have opened a little bit more room in there. And I still like this level, to be honest. I think this can be an interesting zone eventually in the future if price does want to come here to the extreme of it. To go somewhere in there to take these lows. Russian in there. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this. So maybe something in there. Why not just continue to move higher, break the highs. Eventually could turn a little bit. Take this level in here, fake out these lows, and then maybe continue to navigate to the upside until finally it kind of reaches this level. Maybe could, for example, maybe react from the base of this. Yep, maybe go higher a little bit. Let me just delete something in here. Make it properly. Maybe respect something, I don't know, the base of this or the base of that, whatever. Slightly continue to go higher. And then kind of turn a little bit. Have maybe a little bit of a deep retracement. Pretend that it's kind of turning a little bit, go down, finally react from this extreme, and maybe resume the move to the upside until finally you may get closer to this range in here. Somewhere in there. Yeah, this could be an option. Kind of trade these mid-window ranges in here, with this little zone still fresh in there. That could be an interesting one. Yep, that could be an interesting one. Or price may just respect this level and can maybe go there straight away until it eventually continues to go higher. Yeah, let's see what the pound yen is going to do. Yeah, that's it. CAD. Whoa, CAD. What's CAD doing? All right, went all the way back to retest from these highs in here from the last NFP as well in January's NFP. All right, so it respected the lows correctly, respected that level, continued to go higher, eventually broke the highs, and it just continues. It's just way too fast of a move in here. Are we going to eventually manage to break this level or not? Kind of all this level of resistance in there. That's kind of an option. Yep, let's see. Again, CAD has been one of those that, as I mentioned, I haven't really been looking too much into them. There's maybe a good opportunity to sell in here actually after the break of that one, fake out this level, fake out this high, break these lows, retest and go. So this most likely was actually a really nice setup opportunity yesterday. Very nice. And now it doesn't vote. Okay, here we are. Yeah, this could have been a great opportunity after breaking these levels, respecting. Yep, leaving maybe those orders in there. This could have been a good end of the session. Not session. This one, yeah, end of the session trade. Yeah, let's see what CAD's going to do. Retest this level in there. Haven't really been focused on the CAD that much. It filled the space now, so it was another one. It filled that space in here. Let's see if it breaks to the upside, if it continues to move higher, if it finally fake outs all these highs in here, maybe into somewhere in there. Yeah, let's see what the CAD is going to do, or if by any chance it now respects this level again and there you go again, kind of go down. Whatever it wants to do. Dollar front Swiss, it's a little bit more clear. We have been kind of bullish since we fake out these lows in here. We created the double low and we turned. So I mean, as we cover it after breaking this level, kind of we had all this compression and we took it, right? So we took the compression, kind of reacted a little bit from this level, and the move to the upside was a little bit expected. Unfortunately, price just retraced to this demand, never really all the way to this extreme in here at the lows where I was looking for. This was an engulf to the upside, so yes, I was even more bullish after that. And there you go. What's the range in here, right? So the range, everything like this looks compressed. There's maybe something in here still, just above this high, that you could use it. If it was another time of the day, maybe price could actually back out this high and have a little bit of a retracement. Of course, you do have now this level in here to pay attention to. Eventually, we could target all this double top in here and going closer to this level. There's maybe some space in there. Again, this is the 4-hour time frame. If you go maybe lower, there's maybe something inside there, but yes, maybe the target or the range that you are looking for is all the way until here. I still like this level in here. I think none of these highs reacted from there, so there's maybe an opportunity in there, and eventually can even reach all the way finally to that level. But attention to this one in here, even though we kind of have a little bit of a few highs in there, this kind of has been taken. So this double top in here I think could work a little bit as a target. For now, some reaction from here, a little bit pushing price a little bit lower. We have this previous level of support resistance with this Quasimodo. This Quasimodo in here can most likely work out as an IKM. Eventually could work out as a long. Nevertheless, we do have now this space eventually to fill the range and for price to continue to go higher. So yep, compression to the upside. There you go. It was another one, like another one that you mentioned. It may resume the move upwards when the dollar is ready to kind of go upwards as well and fill this range, that range. And there you go. It was another one since the beginning of the month that we are looking for the turn to the upside, and with some confirmations along the way as well, as price is breaking the highs. So yeah, there's maybe a little bit of a few opportunities in there to sell. Yep, I do like this level as an end target, at least for this move higher. Yeah, it's kind of what I could look for. Yeah, that's basically that for that one. Gold, they're looking for gold. Gold reacted initially from that level, is kind of approaching a little bit this level. We could go all the way below this wall and even maybe continue. Again, gold, it was such a strong compression on the way up that maybe doesn't really left anything important behind, right? So we do have kind of this high in there, which can also be a little bit that one. Oh, maybe something in there. Nothing really stands out to me on gold. We broke already this low in there, and eventually this could be all of it that we could turn, right? So gold, I mentioned as well when we had. So I was looking for price eventually to go there. There was no need. Price just fake out this level, and after we respected this level in here, after we respected precisely what a beautiful reaction it was from this extreme, I mentioned that I was not really expecting these lows now to hold price. We covered that exactly type of a move a few months back on the dollar yen example, which is when price respects precisely the kind of the origin of the move. More often than not, price will eventually create new lows. Even though if we kind of broke these highs in here, that kind of it could be a little bit more to the upside. We kind of then broke this low, so we actually want to go a little bit lower towards to this level. And before that, price goes all the way to the extreme and it respects to the pip this level. So if price respects exactly almost with such a precision that level, more often than not, whatever price is coming from in here is not going to actually hold price. Price actually is going to create a new low before any chance of going up again back up to break this highs. Dollar yen, the example that we gave, it was the opposite actually. It was as a long scenario, not as a sell. So yes, continuation to the downside, a lot of compression as well in here. It's starting to get a little bit tricky. Nice reaction. Yeah, just keep an eye on this one for the future, for sure, above this highs. But for now, price never really got there. My final target is 1734. Yeah, you have been killing it on gold, right? 1764. Where is 1764? What are you looking at? Where are you looking at? 17. Alright, you're going all the way until here. Fair enough. Yep, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, doesn't mean that price is just going to go in a straight line towards that level. Price could easily, now that you're looking even in this 1 hour time frame, I like this level a lot. Right? We just created all this triple top in there. We have this previous support resistance, and it looks like we still have this kind of supply in there. So this can actually be a really interesting zone eventually for price to go to, and maybe just resume the move to the downside from there. That could be an option on gold. Yeah, we do have a little bit of a zone in there. we have kind of these left shoulders in here, and price kind of just continue to go down. It was another one that it never really created a deep retracement towards those levels in there. So it was just middle range, continuation, 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 with a lot of spikes in between in there. So yeah, bigger picture, maybe, yeah, maybe that level on 764 would work out. But price can definitely have some a little bit of retracements before that. You could imagine, right? Like, then this is the dynamic of the markets and why it's so amazing. Like, for 1, 2, 3 months, literally always attempting to look for longs, and now all of a sudden it turns, and now it's just looking for shorts, and then eventually it's going to turn again, they're going to be looking for longs again, and it just keeps like that, right? So now this dynamic, looking at the bigger picture, at the spaces, wherever price may go to, and whatnot, having this higher time frame idea and bias can help tremendously in order to decide on how we should be positioning ourselves in the market. I think that's it basically on the pairs that I usually look for. Let's just take a look at BTC and Ethereum. Jack, if you are still there, anything that you're looking for on BTC, and what can we look at in here? So we did broke that highs on the left side. Yep, we did broke those highs. We may be reacting still from somewhere in there, that zone. So we may have broken the highs, but it may have not broken the zone where the high was reacting from. Nevertheless, that may still be an angle upwards. So as you can see, nice. Oh yeah, I don't think I can see it on the 5 minutes. See it on 1 minute. Right, so I think this is kind of where price was reacting before, and that kind of this is now where price reacted now, somewhere in there. It's still a valid zone. Which is still a valid zone. Now, okay, price eventually turned. Okay, respected this level. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher towards here. Apparently there was no need for it. Price just reacted from this one in here to count this level. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, somewhere in there could be interesting. We are reacting from this demand zone now, from the base of it, literally in here. As you can see, this maybe is already a little bit on a goof down. Maybe price can go a little bit lower to 22,180. That could be an option in there. Or even below this level in here on this demand zone. There's maybe something in there to look for. So let's see where is BTC now navigating towards to. Yeah. Yep, let's see. So it reacted quite nicely from that level. Yeah, it could go all the way until here, or even all the way until there. Yes, my favorite zone actually to have looked for that sell, it would be in here above this highs. In there I was aiming for price to go there. Compression, so maybe something even in here. There. that's a little bit what I'm looking for on BTC. Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum a little bit more of the same as well. Kind of looking for price to go slightly above this size. This supply was still fresh. That's where basically price reacted to. I was looking for price to maybe go a little bit close to that level. We had fake out these highs in here. We kind of had broken this low, so let's see how price is going to behave in there. Even though we respected kind of this demand, but in the bigger picture we actually broke the lows, and it looks like there's maybe a little bit more room to go down in this bigger picture, even though we kind of reacted from that level on 30 minutes. So yeah, a little bit more room down. Continue to go navigate to downside. Let's see how price reacts maybe from somewhere in there. Yeah, that level hasn't been really taken. Ethereum, I mentioned that I would even like to see price eventually going a little bit higher before the major turn. So yeah, maybe price can just go down, respect this demand zone, or take the orders from this demand zone, and then kind of resume to move to the upside, and then kind of a little bit more of a manipulation, respect that high a little bit, and then maybe finally maybe turn and maybe move much lower and maybe retest these levels in here again. So we'll see what's going to happen in here on Ethereum. But yeah, maybe price can just navigate a little bit more to the downside to see how it's going to react somewhere in there. And yeah, let's see. Yep. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Anything else? I think I covered basically all of them. What is oil doing? Whoa. Okay. Okay. Oil. All right, beautiful reaction. Yeah, we kind of took these highs, start moving down after that. I would like to see price going there. Price never did it. It retraced now all the way back to the lows once again, right? So it's reacting from exactly this decision point in there. Apparently I had this level marked in there, and after the break of this high, that could have been a good zone to look for a long, which apparently price reacted from there quite nicely yesterday. What a good reaction. You can see literally the space between this demand zone and these lows, and price just smashed all the way and went to the downside in there to react from this level. Yeah, that's basically where price went and reacted from, even with the base of this one. Yeah, so let's see now, is oil ready once again to go and move to the upside? So yep, let's see. Maybe that can happen, right? So after the break of these highs, we had kind of first single up, kind of now maybe resuming a little bit more to the upside. And are you going to continue to be in this range? I mentioned that could be a possibility. While markets kind of is indecisive in between this. Are you going to recession? For how long is the Fed going to keep increasing rates? China reopening, sanctions in Russia and whatnot. All that geopolitical tension that is going on with the US, China, Russia, and whatnot. It's been yesterday. There's been 1 year since Russia started to invade Ukraine. So yeah, 1 year yesterday already. Let's see what the oil is going to do. Nice little zone here where price reacted from. Take some vacations, Monday and Tuesday. You're funny. No worries, man. No worries. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to take your approach on Tuesday. Monday, maybe not. On Tuesday, you'll see. I'm going to take your approach. I either make it or I lose it all. Yep, that's it, guys. Thank you again for watching. If you are new, again, press that subscribe button. Let's help me to reach higher numbers. Again, I'll be back on Tuesday. There's been 2 Tuesdays in a row without stream. I'll be back on Tuesday, so that's yeah, I'll be back Tuesday. Then I'll be back Saturday as well next week. Have a good one. Finishing almost the second month of the year. We should start seeing some progress in there. Market has been giving opportunities either to the upside or to the downside. So yeah, if you're following the stream, you notice that at least in the higher time frame, we have been able to predict quite nicely what the dollar, what the euro, and so on have been doing. So yeah, join me for the next sessions as well, and let me know any key levels that you're looking for. Challenge accepted. Okay, Phantom NX, whatever name it is. Right. Code is 5. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time. Obrigado.